I'm about to feed him to the sharks right now. Get him hype right now. Yeah. You know the ground is up. Yeah. Everybody that trains, you know the game. Yeah. So let's get it. Slap it up, bump it, and roll. Hey. Yeah, that's the way that it goes. Ain't no better way to better yourself in this game. You're feeling the growth. That's time on the mat. We put in the work. Believe it ain't easy, I know. But we train for the love of the game, the love of the art. Now slap it up, bump it, let's roll.
Welcome to episode 45 of the BJJ Campaign podcast. My name is Jeff Boone. I'm an A3 blue belt, 2 stripes.
Phil Kors, A2, blue belt, 1 stripe.
And Philly, this week I wanted to recap on my training with Schluter out at the Half Gracie Academy in San Jose, California.
He said you were dirty.
Did he?
Yeah.
I mean, it is prison rules, right?
Yeah.
Wrist locks, heel hooks, in the gi.
How'd it go?
It was fun. Justin, the machine holder, is the professor out there. Like I mentioned before, trained out there before with those guys whenever I was out at our corporate headquarters, and he was a nice guy. He remembered me, and also met Eric Kwok. He was one of the black belts there, and we got to talking. And he's a North Carolina grappler. He started way back when, and he was actually, if you recall, Mazi Hidari, who Austin trains under in Chapel Hill. Right. They were actually blue belts together. So Jiu-Jitsu is kind of a small world.
It's funny.
It is funny. But on to the lesson, we did some really cool stuff, and thus kind of transitioning into another topic a little later. But we did a lot of butterfly guard into like deep half X guard, you know, and so that was cool. That was a lot of fun. He was Justin was really good at teaching that, and me and Doug, you know, partnered up, and we're about the same size. He was a little bit.
It's much bigger than you.
He would say
he's much big. Makes you look very tiny. Maybe it was just a weird angle in the picture.
Could have been. I think he was 3 feet in front of all the rest of us. So
oh, okay.
But that was fun, and then we got in roles. Great team there. It was a lot of fun. As you know, most of the communities in jiu-jitsu, whenever you go in there, they welcome you. It's a lot of fun. They had a lot of big guys there, which was really cool. It was a lot of fun to roll with those guys. You know.
Yeah. Everybody's big.
To you, not to me, Phil.
You always say that, like, oh, it's a big guy. Shocker.
No, but we had a great time, and Schluter thought I was going to be talking trash about him the whole time. I'm not. It was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah.
You know, it's training. Do what you
do. Did you partner up with him in class?
I did. Yeah. We worked together. in class.
Any tips for him as a training partner?
For him as a training partner. No, but I will say something about him. You know, he has a Taekwondo background. Okay. And before class, when he was stretching, he could almost do a complete, like he was literally an inch off the ground.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. I was like, what, you know, that you just don't expect to see that out of someone his size.
Right. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got a little bit of gut on him. You know, his wife's been getting on him about that a little bit.
I've heard about that.
Just kidding, Sluty. We love you. But yeah, it was a great training experience. Really fun to train with those guys.
How many times have you trained with them now?
It's twice now. I looked it up. It was April 11th that I trained with them last year.
Oh, okay.
And it was also funny because Rob, one of the guys, one of the blue belts there, he said, he was like, oh yeah, I remember you. You like half guard. So I've been training half guard for a really long time now, at least a year and a half almost. Yeah. So I thought that was funny.
That's interesting. He remembers that.
It really is. And I think back on it, I think back on the visitors that have come in to our academy, like the one father, I think it was father-son team. They were both purple belts. I don't know if you were there on that Sunday Rolls.
That does not sound familiar.
But the one father who was really good purple belt, and he really liked half guard too. So I thought that was, I'll remember that. I don't remember his name, but I'll remember he likes half guard.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
funny.
know, is there any others like that you remember coming in?
No, I don't remember anybody coming in that liked a specific position like that. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because like Brad, whenever he would come in, but he
does
was
a lot
just
of guard stuff. He's just good at
just
everything.
really good at a lot of stuff. Yeah. And he moved away, by the way.
I saw that. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a great time. Enjoyed the training, and that segues us into my deficit at butterfly guard.
Yeah.
So we did. Not only did we do it there in California, but also in Sunday Rolls, we were doing position-specific sparring, and it was butterfly guard, and I was with Delvin.
Whose was that? Roland asked for that one?
No. Who did ask for butterfly guard?
Because that's interesting. That's not one that comes up a lot, but I like that we did it.
It's not. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing it more.
Yeah.
I can't think. Oh, I think it was Bob that asked for butterfly guard. The new blue belt that came from Chicago.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So that was really cool because it was horrible with Delvin, because Delvin is bigger than me, and I was terrible at butterfly guard, and it wasn't fun. So
it's hard to move.
Yeah. So therefore, I'm now looking on YouTube. Roland sent me a link to this one butterfly guard concepts video, which I like.
Yeah.
I thought it was helpful. You watched it too. But that's something that's on the list of what to work on.
Okay. I feel like you have a lot of opportunities to work on it because you work on open guard stuff a lot anyway.
Yeah. And especially with that one video showing how to do it from half guard, how to do the grapevine in on the inside leg, and then transition to getting out the knee shield and getting in the hook. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be working on that a lot starting tonight.
Nice. Now, do you like the regular butterfly sweeps that they do, like one way or the other way? They kind of go back and forth.
For sure. Yeah. I do. And I find myself in those positions, a lot from half guard. I mean, you get in those positions a lot from half guard, and I like doing it, but that traditional butterfly was just tough. I mean, it's just something I need to work on.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and we had a request from one of our listeners that said, we're always taking a shit on ourselves on how bad we are at stuff. And just to qualify that is we're right where we need to be for our belt level. But as Daniel Cormier and many others have said, there's levels to this game, right? So in the overall grand scheme of things, we're not really good at much. So that's just a qualifier in that. But what we are, we're what a strong point to my game that I feel that I want to talk about, where I feel like maybe I am a little bit better than my belt level at, is side control, right? And that's probably due to many years of wrestling, 14 plus years of wrestling to hold people in that position. So they wanted us to kind of talk about that and specifically what it is that you feel the reason for that is. And the reason for it for me is that I feel like I have principles of base in that side control position, because it is a pinning position, right? And that's what the objective in wrestling is to pin people.
Right.
And so why I may be better than I would be normally at this belt level, I think, is because I understand the concept of getting my knees wide apart, having them underneath the armpit so that they can't get frames back in, and also controlling that space, like Roland said, controlling that space between the armpit and the knee.
Right.
And that's, that's what I feel. That's why I feel that's probably a strong suit for me.
Yeah. It always comes back to time and the amount of time you spent practicing it.
100%. And even though I didn't know at the time that it was going to benefit me later, it sure did.
Right. Because, I mean, I'm most comfortable. If I had to pick what I was most comfortable doing, and the highest success rate if I was going to do something would be attacks from the closed guard. And that's just because that's what I spent the most time doing. So, yeah, that would always comes back to that. And that's what's so frustrating when it's like you think about how long you've spent not good at a position or a technique, and it's just always comes back to, well, you weren't even trying. Didn't really try to do it.
Right, or you didn't put yourself in that position to begin with.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a common theme to this, right? And while all the black belts said consistency in training is the biggest key to success, so I feel like we're going to get so much out of that episode for years to come.
Yeah, fundamentals and keep showing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I feel like personally, the last couple months of doing probably 90% fundamental classes or more has been very beneficial. I don't know, I feel like I've gotten a lot stronger in that area of getting on top, actually attempting sweeps. The private on the sweep that we did helped a lot. Drilling it helped a lot. And trying to do it helped a lot.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, you have improved drastically in that realm. So we'll keep doing that. We'll keep training in the bad positions. Now that I know how bad my butterfly guard is, I'll keep training in that position. That's what I'm going to work on. And guess what? We talked about it a little bit earlier, and that we're both pretty happy with where we're at right now in training. And I can't remember who said it, but to be happy with where you're at in training, but never to be satisfied with it.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like now that we acknowledge that we're not going to be satisfied and
well, I'm happy and that's why I'm talking about recording stuff every now and then. I don't always do it, but I can see a giant difference over the course of a couple months when I go back and watch a competition footage or random Sunday rolls and to what I was doing yesterday. As long as it's not the same thing. That's where I had a big issue with myself, is when I was always in the closed guard, never trying to let people pass, never trying to sweep, only doing the same one thing all the time. That's not progress. I'm not as good as I want to be, but I'm happy that I've improved from where I was a couple months ago, So it's I'm happy where I'm at, but it's not where I want to be.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you know what? We'll do that. I've kind of taken mental notes of things where progressions that we've made in the last, 6 months, and we'll do at the New Year's episode. I'm sure we'll do another recap of.
I just saw the goals, by the way, just came across that page in my notebook the other day, and I've hit them all.
Yeah, no, that's great. So we have to strive higher, right? Make more goals. Mm-hmm. Figure it out. So part of that being better, part of that trying to do better is sometimes you have to be selfish in your training, right? And it was actually after a seminar, and Professor Steve Hall told me, and I'll never forget, he said, Jeff, you've got to be more selfish at times in your training. And just to clarify, that was not that you have to be selfish all the time, right? Because I enjoy the time I spend with the new white belts that come. I'm honored that John, our professor, likes me to be with them. And on those times whenever we're doing the level 1 fundamentals, we've got a new curriculum that we've just started in our new schedule, right? We've got level 1 and level 2 fundamentals. Don't know if I should talk about that or not, but anyway, with the curriculum. But anyway, our schedule's changed always for the better. And so whenever it comes around to the advanced, I think everybody has an advanced class, right? Every school has an advanced class. Then I'm going to pick you or seek like I trained with Luke Friday night, one of our 4-stripe brown belts. I love doing that because he teaches me so much.
Yeah.
Every time. So that's an example of me being selfish with my training.
Right.
How about you?
I try to, and I'll grab people that, like when you're rolling, that I think I can train what I'm trying, the specific area I'm trying to train. Like we train together all the time, but if I'm trying to work on the areas that I'm weak at, you're not the person for me to grab. It's just not it. Like you're not trying and I still can't sweep you. Like that's just not going to happen. Like I get it. I know you're presenting opportunities and you think they're there, but I'm not there yet. I need to grab other people and like work my way up. So everybody else, most other people there, I can try, there's up to a certain level that I can try to work on my weak spots, which is what I've been really focusing on the last couple months. And that's me being selfish is grabbing all those people to work on like what I want to work on. I do try to split up the round a little bit, like in my head of if I, can do a couple sweeps essentially, and then I'll go back and I'll start in a worse position and try to work my way into that position again to sweep whatever. But I have been recently on the being selfish side trying to like figure out the sweeps situation because it's not good. I think I should be better than I am at trying to sweep you, but like you give me opportunities and I mean, you're essentially playing dead and it's still tough to get that sweep. So that's just what I've been kind of grinding away at, just trying to figure that stuff out. So I'll grab newer people, or smaller people and try to get that figured out.
What smaller people?
The children. Yeah, I can sweep the kids.
You're like Kramer on the Seinfeld with the kids class.
Basically, yeah. That's why I started going to the kids classes. Practice sweeping.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, and that brings me back to that quote that Rafael Lovato Sr., whenever he was on the BJJ Brick podcast, said, "Train 50% for yourself and 50% for your partner." And I think that's, great advice, and it's something that we should all strive to do. That way, everybody gets better, right? And I want to present those opportunities to you and to others to do that, and get in those bad positions and work out of those bad positions, work out of them with people who are better than me, and work out of them with people who maybe aren't quite as good. Just to see what works on both sides of that.
Yeah. And totally just lost my train of thought as what you were talking about. Yeah, I don't know. Totally lost what I was going to say.
Yeah, you'll come back to it. But also something else that the one of the listeners requested. Go ahead.
I remember now. It's also a selfish way to think, or not so selfish, but when you're helping the other people as they progress, especially to our level right now, it doesn't take very long for somebody to become competent enough to be, challenging for me.
Sure.
So it's 6 months or so, somebody could be an extremely good training partner for me and you.
Of course.
So it doesn't take all that long you feel like you're training with brand new people to kind of get them up to speed to the basics idea. And then, if they take to it, they're going to be, some of your best training partners aren't that far behind you,
Yeah, 100%. You're exactly right.
So, I mean, in a way, you're selfishly grooming people to be your training partner.
Always.
Yeah. So that's what I was, that kind of just flew out of my head there for a second.
Gonna need you to step up your game.
Yeah, I know. Holding you back.
So one of the listeners also requested we kind of recap, and I think we've talked about this before, but I think it's always good to talk about, and that is rolling with different people, right? Different ranks higher than you, ranks lower than you, kids, the spazzy white belt, right? So I mean, and listen, I'll say it now. I've said it before. Everyone, well, I don't know if everyone, you were never really a spazzy white belt. Maybe.
At times.
Were you? I don't ever remember you being really spazzy.
I still get spazzy on top because I don't know what I'm doing. I just kind of run around up there.
That's different.
Yeah.
You're not spazzy injury prone.
No, I was usually a little slower because I was always trying. That's one of my downfalls, I think, is that I'm too slow because I'm always trying to reassess what I should be doing. And I just tend to do better when I just do stuff.
Right.
But
unconscious competence. Yeah, I haven't reached that yet.
No, I haven't reached that. It's just that when I'm not waiting, trying to decide on what to do, usually just doing stuff tends to work out better, or I get swept. I don't know.
Yeah. So give us a little advice, Phil, on rolling with it. Yeah, and listen, again, I was the spazzy white belt. I was big, and thank God I don't think I really hurt anybody, but it's a recipe for disaster. But take us through what you do with a newer spazzy white belt.
Most important thing is just being calm, I think, because that kind of, the energy always tends to feed off each other. People tend to feed off, like if you respond with the same energy, especially if there's a giant skill difference, it's going to not end well, for anybody.
Sure.
I think if you just kind of take it easy, relax, and kind of calmly show them it doesn't matter how much you're freaking out. Like there's a reason people are doing certain things. So I think being calm and just kind of controlling the situation is the ideal solution for that one. So
you're not going to choke the shit out of them 5 times and then go from there?
Calmly. That's it. Just calmly do it.
No, I think that's good advice. I think something I'd add to that is that to just control them, right? Especially if they're a lot bigger than you.
Yeah.
And to just control their posture, because guess what? If you've been doing this for a lot longer than they have, they're likely to run out of gas fairly shortly.
Yeah, and another thing, for somebody like me too, because I'm 155 pounds, not that big. So
soaking wet.
Even if a bigger dude gets on top of me that's brand new, we start out, because this happens a lot if you don't start, standing, because we don't have a lot of room. We'll start kind of on the knees or whatever position. It's
you don't
just
really start on the knees.
If there's a lot of people, or you start in the guard or something.
Yeah.
But there's not enough room for 30 people to all
right.
standing up. It's not going to happen. That sort of just goes into the pushing match, and I lose that one a lot, when it's just two people trying to shove each other over like the kids do. So they may pass the guard right away or whatever. Even if they get on top, they don't know the next step, so it's not that big of a deal. Again, kind of comes back, I think, to staying calm, and they'll make a mistake. They'll give space because they don't know how to take it away. They don't know that, even if a lot of times they think they have, they go for some sort of paper cutter type choke or whatever with no real anchoring support or whatever you want to call it. They'll move on because they won't have the confidence and stuff. So it's always going to come back to just staying calm. You'll get back to the better position eventually. But yeah, I know we've talked about before, matching energy and stuff, and I try to do that. Usually I'm trying on the bottom, to come up, and that's a conserving energy idea for me, but I think that works definitely with new people that are spazzing out and stuff. And if they are doing things that you think are going to hurt you, let them know, because they don't know. I struggle doing that, but I'll tell everybody else to do it.
So see, I'm going back to what you said there at the beginning, because I've never started on my knees with anyone, ever.
Really? Okay.
Ever. I've always just conceded, because I like working bottom, right? And people are happy to work top position, right? So I just always concede that bottom position. I'm not, unless I'm going with legs, and then he'll concede that bottom position to me and immediately sweep me.
Right.
But yeah, I've never been in that pushing match. I've never done that.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me.
I mean, it doesn't really, but it's more.
Okay.
It's more with newer people, I would say, because I've been trying not to start in the guard, try not to go to my back, so I end up in this weird position where it's like I don't want to just start on the bottom because I can't sweep, and I know if I get there I won't. So I wasn't going to my back. They don't know to go to theirs.
Okay.
So I'm in this weird thing. It's not. I understand it's not a real position and it's not ideal, but as a higher belt, I'm not going to tell somebody to start on the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, it's never even crossed my mind, honestly, before this point. So that's where it kind of ends up, and it kind of ends up in a little bit of a pushing match, which
That's
usually
just
doesn't go
really
well. And you know what it always comes back to?
What?
Man, if I just know how to sweep somebody, this would not be an issue. If they push me back
it
to
just
sweep
seems
them.
silly, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Huh. I'm
why I've
glad
been
I've
working
never
on
started
sweep.
on my knees. I think I'm just going to say, I think it's stupid.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
get
I'd
it.
rather give up the position.
I gave up the position the entire time I did jiu-jitsu. I was trying not to do that anymore.
Gotcha.
That's all.
Good.
Yeah.
So you look
Once
good.
I figure out...
I can't wait to just watch one time when you're starting on your knees. I think that would be going to be silly. Then I'm going to make fun of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you should start on your back and sweep somebody.
Agreed. Yeah, I should be able to do sweeps. Can't, working on it. But I've been starting standing a lot more than I had in the past. But there's, not always enough room.
Yeah, but no, and we do start standing whenever it's not a packed class, if it's not a fundamentals class. Luckily, our academy's busy. That's a great thing, and we've got plenty of training partners. But sometimes, that mat space is at a premium, and you can't start standing up. That's why, in Sunday rolls, we'll do the rounds standing up and stuff like that, because there's not usually 30 people on the mat to where we'll have room to do that.
Yeah.
So, another case, and I don't really differentiate this, again, with kids or no kids, male or female. It's the different styles of rolling, just based specifically on size. So, I'm rolling with a kid, that I'm going to play bottom, right? And they're a lot smaller than me, so I'm going to play bottom and just roll gently, but also give them feedback such that if they're doing something right, that they gain that position or they gain that submission, right? Because they're doing these things right. It shouldn't be a penalty to them that I'm that much bigger than them. So that's kind of what I do with no matter who it is. Again, kid, no kid, male, female. It's based upon size. If they're smaller, I'm going to try to match their strength, or use less, and do that. What are you smirking for?
Just calling bullshit, but that's okay.
What are you talking
Nah,
about?
you just power. I mean, you're Jeff Boone. That's every technique I see.
The grunt test.
Yeah.
Grunt test. That is a lie, Phil.
All right.
You really think that?
No, I'm just
Okay.
giving you a hard time.
Good.
I just want to get under your skin there for a second.
I was getting nervous. It's like, really? I don't think I'd do that. But self-conscious about it. But no, I mean, I think that's just, that way everybody's getting better, and they get that feedback of, if they don't sweep me right, or if they don't set it up correctly, then I'm not gonna be swept, or I'm not gonna be passed or anything like that. But if they do, then sure enough, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Any other gyms?
Just do the technique right, and everything will go good.
Yeah, I'll repeat it. The grunt test. Do the grunt test. If you have to grunt, you're not doing it right.
I grunt all the time. Never works.
Jean-Jacques Machado was talking about that on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through that one. I like that one a lot so far.
Really good podcast. Highly recommended. I don't remember what episode it was, but it was the last week or so.
Yeah, it's
on
new.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he covers a lot of stuff about not getting injured and things like that. Some of the history stuff is really cool too. I'm just not up on a lot of what the history side of things, but talking about like longevity and stuff is always appealing to me because I don't want to get hurt. I'd rather train,
Yeah, no, and he addressed Jean-Jacques Machado addressed that in there, and he, because Joe Rogan had noted that he'd never really seen Jean-Jacques hurt before.
Yeah,
and
so he doesn't have fingers.
I think he doesn't have some of his fingers. I can't remember. I think it's either one or both hands. I can't remember.
Okay, they made a comment about it. I didn't really understand. Like he was born without fingers or something.
Yeah. Like
interesting.
Like a really small hand. I don't know. I'm not sure what that's called. But yeah, it's somewhat of I guess a birth defect. And
yeah, they just like mentioned it. They didn't like elaborate on it at all. I thought that was odd.
Yeah. And you can see it whenever he's doing some of the techniques, but the way he overhooks, like that's why his stuff is so good in both gi and no gi, because he uses a lot of overhooks and a lot of collar ties for doing all his jiu-jitsu. And if anybody doesn't know, Jean-Jacques Machado is really good at jiu-jitsu, a multiple-time world champion. But yeah, he was just saying, the big thing was that if you're trying to put too much into it or grunt, then you're not doing the move right. And so that's what he focuses on. And I really took that to heart. I mean, I have been for a long time, and it does seem to work. It's not powering out of things, not doing anything where you have to really push your body to the limit as far as its strength and durability, and you can be a lot more durable. And knock on wood, had minimal injuries over the 2.5 years.
Right. Bunch of just like little nagging things, no like actual problems.
Your rib.
The one time, yeah, just nagging. It's not like it broke anything.
No, that's true. So yeah, I think that's a good podcast for everybody to go out and check out. And next, Samantha Seth won the strawweight 115 title.
That girl looked much bigger.
She was like a foot taller.
Yeah.
But it proved to be her downfall because she had a really long neck.
Yeah.
And apparently in the first round, Samantha controlled the distance and took her down and took her back and won by rear naked choke. So congratulations to Samantha. Really proud of her.
That was awesome. Speaking of that, we have the new striking class that we started Friday.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, I'll be incorporating more strikes now into my jiu-jitsu with you.
Like every day?
Just going to start hitting you. Yeah, just testing people.
Punch me in the face.
Start testing if you're paying attention. As you're escaping, when you give me the mount and you're escaping, I'm going to just try to punch you a couple times first.
Full blast. Blast right to the nose. Oh my God. That brings me to another thing. Did you see, who was it? Mike Perry. That fight with him, and I think it was Vicente Luque, Saturday night. It was a fight night, and it was a great fight all the way through. They were both blasting each other. But at the end, in the third round, Vicente Luque caught him with a knee flush to the nose. And I don't know if any of you out there remember the Anderson Silva Rich Franklin title fight when Rich Franklin was the champion and Anderson Silva was just coming up and into the UFC from a European fight organization. I can't remember who. Maybe it was Pride. I don't remember who it was. But he came in there and blasted Rich Franklin. It was the nose was broke worse than Rich Franklin's nose was. I mean, it showed a picture of it. Look it up on the internet, folks, if you can, because his nose was absolutely smashed and obliterated and crooked and every other description you could have of a broken nose. And he didn't even flinch.
Really?
Did not even flinch.
I get like hit a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Eyes water.
I'm crying. My
Yeah,
eyes are watering.
yeah.
Like if you just flick my nose, my eyes are watering. Well, I'm not so much into the striking. You know what I mean?
I don't like getting hit in the face. Yeah.
No.
Sucks.
No. Protect the moneymaker. But yeah, and another mention is August 16th. Vernon Kirk's going out to Phoenix for Fight to Win. He's 2-0 now. He's going for the belt, the judo championship, against another judo black belt, and the guy's a jiu-jitsu black belt as well.
Didn't he just have a match like 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
he won that one.
That's not long in between.
Yeah. So they like that. Awesome. He's putting on an entertaining show. So congratulations to Vernon Kirk. Anything else, Philly?
I've just been having a lot of fun lately. That's all.
You know what?
Rolling.
You know what? That's important, isn't it? And a lot of people forget that. Is big reason I like jiu-jitsu is it's fun.
So much fun. It's like all the other stuff seemed to be side effects. I just enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Even when it's frustrating, it's still fun. But most of the time, it's not frustrating. I don't know. I've just been having a lot of fun the last couple of weeks.
You know when I realized how much fun it was, not for the first time, but the very last time I realized that was when I was out in California for work, and at our headquarters they have a gym, and it's really cool. They have it's right there by the cafeteria. They have a gym. They have personal trainers there. They have like this one guy. They were doing personal training in kickboxing, Muay Thai.
Yeah.
For this one guy, and I went in there and I got on the I don't know what you call it, the little thing you do, not the stair climber, but maybe it is
elliptical thing.
Elliptical training. Yeah, I got on there, put 30 minutes on the elliptical trainer.
Yeah,
and I was like, this is freaking miserable, man.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And it's definitely not as good a workout as jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
like I was just doing it because I had to catch a plane. I couldn't go to jiu-jitsu that night. And I was like, this is not fun at all.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Yeah, and then I was like, that's why. Yeah, jiu-jitsu's fun and it's a great workout.
Yeah.
Newsflash, everyone. It is.
I feel like that's why it's easier to get better, because it's just fun.
Oh, for sure.
Even if you're not doing well, it's still fun. I don't know.
Yeah. And you think about it all the time.
It's hard to explain to people, like, as I'm getting smashed. Especially like Sundays. Everybody's good. Everybody's big.
Yeah.
And like, still one of my favorite days to go. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun. And then you get to think about it all the time for the rest of the week or until the next time you roll.
The next day.
Right. Exactly. Also going to train Wednesday night in Wilmington. Looking forward to that. Salty Dog Jiu-Jitsu with John Salter and Joe Selecki. Joe Selecki, new to the UFC. So really looking forward to that. I can't wait. It's a no-gi class, so that'll be fun too.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
I just don't like no-gi.
Why?
I just don't like it. You always ask why, and then you never want to train no-gi either. So I'm on to you.
I don't mind training no-gi.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's, not a priority.
Okay. It's an interesting way to say you don't like it either.
I like it. I like it. It's jiu-jitsu. It's fun.
Right. No, it's still fun.
You just contradict
nowhere
yourself.
near as fun.
It is. I think it is.
No.
It's easier on the fingers.
Irrelevant.
I would say the toes, but that's probably a lie. So Philly, for all the folks out there, tell them how they can support us.
BJJ Campaign Podcast.com. The Facebook group is getting more and more people every week, which is what we like to see. Jeff is going to start doing instructional videos and posting them on.
It's not true, folks. Not true.
YouTube, BJJ Campaign Podcast, Instagram. And yeah, if you want to join the Facebook group and get in on that, that's where we share articles that I think are helpful, that I think are interesting. Anything that applies to training.
And memes.
I like, and
all your
obviously
memes.
the memes, of course. I was getting to that.
We need to start making memes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in.
All right, good. Well, you've got the talent to do so.
Yeah.
So.
Just need an iPhone.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They don't make it hard to do.
No, it's not me. Meme generator.
And then we'll be at the Toro Cup September 7th.
For Toro Cup 15, all female card, helping support that, helping support the Richmond Animal Shelter, I think is what the charity is this time.
Yeah.
I think. Well, we have no idea. I might be totally wrong on that. I don't really.
It's a good cause.
It's a good cause. It's always a good cause. Yeah.
But I don't know what it is.
Someone once said, don't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Yeah.
I never let the facts get in the way. So with that, folks, if you're not out there doing something each and every day to make yourself better, get out there and do it. Phil and I choose Jiu-Jitsu. We hope you do too.
I'm about to feed him to the sharks right now. Get him hype right now. Yeah. You know the ground is up. Yeah. Everybody that trains, you know the game. Yeah. So let's get it. Slap it up, bump it and roll. Hey. Yeah, that's the way that it goes. Ain't no better way to better yourself in this game. You're feeling the growth. That's time on the mat. We put in the work. Believe it ain't easy, I know. But we train for the love of the game, the love of the art. Now slap it up, bump it, let's roll.